Hello, Gio. Hello, hello. Nice to hear you.
Hey, good morning, Philip. Good morning, Philip. Glad to be here. Glad to be here after everything that's happened over here with the hurricane. Glad to be back and connected again with you.
Yeah. It's a hero story, at least from your end. That is for sure. That is for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
glad to be here again on these videos and having these calls with you. So yeah,
Yeah. We chose for today a topic is service productization and its effects on your business. So the general intro, I started with that. The point is in the communication, people are trying to explain what they are doing in kind of simple words and what is happening. There is no differentiation sometimes in specific niche in terms of communication and communicating specific service. So people who don't know anything about that, for them, it sounds the same. So it is, if they don't know you, it's hard to understand why they would engage with you, pay you for your professional service to help them, support them in business scale, whatever you can do for them. So I'm a big advocate on productizing the service for every expertise-based and service-based business. Why? Because when you do that, you are simplifying the communication channel. You have the short description and the outline of their service and what you can provide to your clients and customers. But what is important also is to have a tangible results. So we have the explanation, overall explanation, short description, main and key points. What are the end results from that specific engagement? Very important to mention is you cannot overpromise and underdeliver. That is a big no-no. The point is, if you are able to do, and we definitely advocate that, is to create an adequate audit of the case and scenario, no matter with whom you are working in terms of business engagement, to see how you can actually help them and support them. And then you give them an option in terms of productized service so they can understand the overall structure and the outline. Because people, what is the fact? People don't know, most cases, anything about you. They can find details on LinkedIn, check your case studies, testimonials. It's cool. But more important than that, they are not interested into you. They only want to know how you can help them, how you can support them, and what is the end result which you bring on the table with your professional service. And then that directly comes into the small pocket of differentiation. So if you're in comparison to the potential competition, if you get to the conversation and you are not selling the SEO service, but you are selling the actual tangible results, followed by and boosted by the case studies, the testimonials, and additional social proof, that is the right way to go. Also very important, service productization not only simplifies the communication, it is also directly impacting the conversion rates. So when you productize your service, meaning simplify it, put out there the outline of tangible and exact results, what you can deliver and provide to your clients, it will be much easier to put those actions in motion, because people don't know anything about the service, and in the end of it, they're not interested into that. They simply don't want to know, and it's not their cup of tea. They want help and support a professional who can jump in, resolve their challenge, help them, support them, and push forward. So that is the overall outline, and it can be implemented, as said previously, in any expertise-based business. No matter you're the agents, you're a branding expert, you are a communication expert, PR expert, having your agency by default, or business coach, consultant from controlling and finance, you name it. Every service in that terms can be productized, meaning simplified with overall structure and tangible results. What I wanted to ask, Gio, what is your perspective? How you are seeing the productization of the service? Do you find it something what is meaningful, something what definitely has sense? And yeah, generally, what are your thoughts about that and experience?
No, definitely. I think I'm in tune with what you're saying, and I think we have a right. When I started my agency is when I really saw the importance of that, and as we've worked together, Philip, as well, I've continued to see that importance. I mean, a lot of good. I received a lot of good insights from your end, right? So I think it would be great to share. One thing is that productization. I see it as, like you said, it's simplifying. So, and I see it as simplifying so you can scale.
Yeah.
Because I feel like productization is important for the scaling aspect, because there's a point where if you're doing too many like custom solutions, etc., then it becomes difficult for you to scale, because every time it's a new iteration. Every time you're in front of a client or right, a new prospect, it starts to become this whole long, tedious process, right? Whereas if you already have certain things, this is where it's important to understand your ideal client. And like Philip just mentioned, was understand that it's not about you, it's about the value you provide to that specific industry, to that specific niche. And once you understand that, and you've gone through and you have various clients within a specific niche, you start to uncover that their problems are very similar or almost the same. So now you can productize those services, and now it's easier when your team goes to present them. And I see it as like a puzzle, right? Like
Yeah,
or like a
yeah.
Legos,
Good
right?
comparison. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like Legos, right? Because the Lego, you're able to, mix different blocks and still able to create something unique out of the same blocks, right? So I see productization as sort of like Lego blocks. You're basically, each block is a service, and you productize that service. And now, since you have that block, you can now move it depending on the need of the client or prospect. So that's the good thing about productization. It allows you that flexibility because you've already created that block, and now you can move it depending on what the client wants, and you can build their solution because you've got the blocks already ready to go. So that's how I see it. So it's helped me out a lot in the beginning. When I started the agency, I was kind of, didn't understand productization as much. And once, I started reading on it, I talked to you about it. I started to go more deeper, and I said, well, wow, this really does make sense, especially when you start to scale and you start to have more conversations. You start to see if you have these blocks already ready to go, it's a lot easier to provide clear solutions. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also you help me remind one a crazy misconception generally in the approach, and I've encountered that in business numerous times. So, for example, you ask somebody for some kind of the proposal, the engagement, whatever, and people give you a pile of pages, one document, which is kind of the proposal for the service, blah, 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 a lot of blah, blahs, until the point. Why? Simplify. That is the same thing. What let's mention the agency work. We'll do community management. We'll do SEO. We'll do this. We'll do that. Cool. And when you put that in the parallel with other service providers, what's the difference? The price. Wrong. The problem is agency owners and us as business owners are primarily those whose fault is the perception of what we are doing. But if you communicate your service as a product with input, output, meaning results, that is something which any business owner can understand. We all know that primary focus is the trust and how you can build trust through sharing valuable information, giving the value. And second, very important thing is the structure. If the other side, your potential client or prospect, sees that you have entire process, the channels, the system, how you're operating and doing something, that is building one element, one portion of the trust pile faster. And the productization goes hand in hand, and it's directly connected with that. You're not selling bananas, you are selling solutions. Nothing against selling bananas, just to be clear about that. The point is, things, what's happening? A lot of companies are trying to provide their expertise-based service like a uniform solution and turnkey for everybody. No, it is not the same. We have clients who are in the same business niche, but the requirements aren't the same. Their size is not the same. Their ideal target market is not the same. Their avatar is not the same. So you're practically always doing a bespoke custom solution, but the communication and the system needs to be simplified. Some things need to be automated, so you can have a proper flow and easier catch the results you wanted in the end of line, those results you promised to your client and customer. And if you get those goals, reach those goals, the rule is yours.
Exactly. No, and I agree with you there. And I think it also helps simplify and make it more easy for the sales team, right? Or that business development team, right? It makes it a lot more easier for them because you have that system in place. You have certain services productized already. And like I said, it starts to become, now all they're doing is like, they have the blocks. Now they're playing with it and seeing, okay, what do I want to build here? Depending on the client, it's like, okay, what do I want to build? Well, I got this block, I got this productized service, I got this one over here. Let me see what combination we need to make to find the right solution. And when, like you said, when you have that system in place, it makes it a lot more easier in terms of scalability. I see a lot more easier in terms of scalability, and also it avoids you having to go through the back and forth, right? Of the sales team going to somebody asking, oh, how about this? Or do we do this? Or can we do that? No, it's like everything is there. Build it. Listen to the prospect and understand the needs. Where can we provide value? And then we've got the Legos, we've got the blocks already ready. Let's build it now. Let's get it all together and present it in an efficient way. So I think that's one of the biggest value adders I see of productization, is that factor of it just helps the overall team be a lot more efficient. It helps with scalability. You scale a lot quicker because you've got the services productized and you have that system in place. And then everything flows, like you said, a lot more efficiently, even though there's going to be times where you need to have some more bespoke solutions, but they can still, like you said, have a system and be productized in some way to some extent, so that the process is a lot more easier and quicker, right? And yeah, I think it's great. I think it's a very underrated way to make a tweak in your business. I think sometimes that type of tweak of productizing services could make a big difference in your business and your revenue and how much you can scale in the short term.
Yeah, and before we go, I'll give a simple example from business coaching and consulting. So option one and option two. Option one is the regular service presentation. Okay, I'm helping businesses to scale. Cool. I'm helping with profitability. I'm helping with service arrangement, productization of the service, blah, blah, blah. Okay, everything sounds cool, but people cannot find the proper trigger from themselves. But if you communicate, our business scaling program, for example, will raise your profitability at least for 35%. Your network will be scaling starting from 300% plus. Will be organizing this. So you mentioned tangible results, much easier to understand because they can find themselves in specific challenges. And that is the point. That is also, it is one step forward, and you're already in the explanation mode. So you don't need to play entire game around something bespoke, this, that. It is hard for people to understand. And whatever we are doing, we need to see through the proper glasses, not yours or mine, but from the client's perspective. And that is primary thing of the productization, because one of primary misconceptions about the productization, that is only for software and service companies and IT. No, it's for entire line of expertise-based, service-based businesses. So you can do it practically with any type of the service.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, Philip. I mean, that's a great example, and I think overall, to close it out, right? We can agree that productized services are something that every business should think about, because it's going to help with your scaling. If you haven't done it yet, right, you should find ways to identify opportunities for you to productize certain services that you have, because of the reasons we just mentioned on this video. I think it's a great conversation, Philip. Glad to be on another call with you again. And yeah, it's exciting, because I know that these details, like it happened with me when I first started implementing and productizing services and talking about it with you and taking action and making those tweaks, you start to see those differences, especially in the sales, right, in the sales process and scaling. So a great conversation.
Awesome. And thank you, Gio, for the time, considering the situation and everything. It was awesome. And see you soon. Take care and enjoy the rest of the day.
Same, Philip. Take care.
Cheers, Gio. Bye-bye.